You work hard, but it feels like success keeps slipping away. You tell yourself you're trying, but deep down, you don't believe it's possible. You have dreams, but somewhere along the way, they started feeling out of reach. When trying isn't enough. The law of attraction begins where belief lives, and most of us don't believe deep enough. We crave success, but carry doubt like a shadow. We think we're doing all the right things, reading, hustling, visualizing, but something inside remains unconvinced. It's as if your subconscious is stuck in a loop that keeps manifesting the same patterns, no matter how badly you want change. It's like shouting into a canyon and only hearing your fears echo back. You say, "I want abundance," but your nervous system has been trained to expect disappointment. That's why manifestation often feels like a lie when it's just layered on top of unresolved stories. The mind doesn't attract what you wish for. It attracts what you believe is possible. This is why your mindset shift isn't just a nice to have, it's the foundation. No method, no vision board, no affirmation will change your life if your internal identity is still rooted in scarcity. Napoleon Hill taught that we move toward what we think about most. But what if your dominant thought is quiet disbelief? We want to attract success, but we often sabotage it with internal narratives that were never ours to begin with. Maybe your parents didn't believe in abundance. Maybe your teachers praised you for surviving, not thriving. Maybe no one showed you how to reprogram your mind. You're not lazy or lost. You're operating on mental software you didn't install. And it's exhausting. "I've done everything right" becomes the silent scream of the stuck. It's not that the law of attraction doesn't work. It's that it reflects back your unhealed belief that you're not enough. Like waking up every day, doing the routine, yet feeling like the life you want is for someone else. Someone luckier, someone more connected. But what if the problem isn't effort, but identity? Not how hard you try, but what you believe you're allowed to have. This is where mental clarity matters. Positive thinking isn't toxic if it's grounded in truth. Visualization isn't fantasy if it's based on belief. A mindset shift isn't fluff if it helps align your actions with your values. Clarity isn't magic, it's momentum. And momentum starts when you stop pretending and start believing. You don't need to fake confidence, you need to find alignment. An abundance mindset isn't about blind optimism. It's about deciding you're worthy of receiving, that you're allowed to stop proving and start allowing. That inspired action flows not from pressure, but from clarity. This isn't about fixing yourself, it's about seeing yourself clearly. Reprogramming your mind isn't a one-time hack. It's a daily practice, a choice to believe differently, to act from worth, to move from alignment. We weren't taught this growing up. We were taught to chase success, to outwork, outperform, overachieve. But no one taught us to pause and check if our beliefs were even aligned with the life we wanted. This is why it feels hard, because we're not just working against the world, we're working against our conditioning. Manifestation isn't just thinking about what you want. It's becoming who you need to be in order to receive it. It's shifting from trying to trusting, from chasing to choosing, from doubt to decision. You deserve a life that feels aligned, not just achieved. A life that reflects who you truly are, not who you think you need to be. You don't have to hustle your way into worthiness. You're already enough. If you've ever questioned why things don't seem to click no matter how hard you try, this might be the first time someone names the feeling you couldn't explain. But what if the real problem isn't what you're doing? It's what you still don't believe. So pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, not just what you want, but who you are when you believe it's already yours. That's where the shift starts. That's when the law of attraction stops being a concept and becomes the lens through which you live. Everything changes when you begin from belief. You say the affirmations, but your doubt speaks louder. You visualize a future you secretly feel undeserving of. You want to change, but every step forward feels like betrayal to the old you. When the mind becomes the enemy, true alignment isn't about pretending you're confident. It's about facing the thoughts that quietly sabotage you. Most of our resistance to success isn't loud. It's subtle, habitual, and internalized. It hides in the tiny reflexes, the flinch when you're praised, the hesitation before you speak up, the way you downplay your wins. It's like trying to swim with ankle weights you didn't realize you were wearing. You move forward, but everything feels heavy. invisible, unnamed. That's the nature of internal conflict. It doesn't shout, it whispers. You don't get what you want. You get what your nervous system thinks is safe. That's why the law of attraction isn't about what you want on paper. It's about what your body believes is familiar. And familiar often means self-sabotage, even when it hurts. This is why mindset shifts are so elusive, because if you don't uncover the beliefs that block you, you'll keep running in circles. Napoleon Hill knew this. He didn't just preach positivity, he demanded honesty, radical, inward honesty. True manifestation starts when you stop lying to yourself. The hardest part of growth isn't becoming new, it's grieving who you used to be. The identity that got you here, the habits, the fears, the stories won't get you where you're going. But letting go of them feels like loss. Even if they were painful, they were yours. The voice that says, "This isn't for people like me," is not yours. It was taught to you. Maybe from a parent who never chased their dreams, a teacher who only saw your mistakes, a system that valued silence over self-worth. That voice became internal, but it was never true. What if success isn't about becoming someone else, but finally allowing yourself to be you? What if alignment means choosing truth over comfort, presence over performance? This is the essence of mindset shift, a turning inward, a realignment with authenticity. This conflict between who you've been and who you want to be isn't weakness. It's a sign that you're awake, that you're no longer numb. And that's the beginning of transformation. The abundance mindset is not about fake smiles and daily affirmations. It's about making peace with the truth that you were never broken. Imagine staring at the mirror, repeating affirmations, but still flinching when someone compliments you. That flinch isn't failure, it's feedback. It's data from your nervous system saying, "We're not there yet, but we're close." This is where mental clarity becomes essential. Seeing the pattern gives you back your power. Because healing the mind doesn't mean erasing doubt. It means relating to it differently, listening without obeying, feeling without collapsing. It means understanding that fear isn't a stop sign, it's a threshold. Visualization helps, but only if paired with belief. Belief makes the image possible. Inspired action makes it real. Mental clarity comes not when you silence the inner critic, but when you see it for what it is, a protection mechanism. Outdated, maybe, but once useful. And once you thank it, you can outgrow it. You attract success not through perfection, but through presence. Reprogramming your mind isn't about stuffing it with positivity. It's about inviting in truth, about asking, who benefits from me staying small? What stories am I still living out that were never mine to begin with? This is how the law of attraction begins to work. Not through force, but through inner permission. Abundance isn't an outcome. It's a perspective. A way of looking at yourself with grace instead of judgment, with compassion instead of comparison. Manifestation starts when you finally believe you're allowed to receive. Sometimes positive thinking isn't about ignoring the negative. It's about holding space for something new, something hopeful. It's the quiet voice that says, maybe there's another way. Maybe I can choose inspired action, not out of panic, but out of peace. And maybe you're not broken. Maybe you're healing, slowly. Surely enough. But what if you stopped fighting yourself and started healing the belief that said you're not enough? What if the next step isn't fixing you, but learning how to reprogram your mind with compassion instead of criticism? You ever feel like you're doing everything right, scripting, visualizing, staying positive, yet the results just don't come? Like the universe got the wrong address? Maybe it's not about effort. Maybe it's about energy. Because pushing yourself while feeling disconnected isn't manifestation, it's exhaustion. And here's the truth, you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you believe. If you've ever wondered, why not me? That question haunts the ones who try the hardest. You're not lazy, you're not lost. You're just tired of pretending to feel aligned when deep down you feel unseen. But what if this frustration isn't failure, it's fuel? The law of attraction isn't just about desire, it's about readiness. And readiness begins with clarity. Napoleon Hill didn't say wish, he said definite chief aim. Because vague hope doesn't create reality. Clarity does. You can't attract success from a state of self-doubt. You need congruence. The version of you who gets what they want, how do they walk, think, say no? That's your script now. This is the mindset shift. You stop chasing outcomes and start embodying outcomes. That's manifestation. That's power. Let go of someday. Bring it into now. Speak like it's here. Move like it's here. Visualize not as fantasy, but as familiarity. Your nervous system needs proof, not promises. That's where inspired action comes in. Not action from fear, action from belief. You don't need to be loud. You need to be real. Real with your fear, real with your desire, real with your capacity. Because positive thinking is not about ignoring pain. It's about reframing truth, saying, even in this delay, something is working for me. And sometimes the most powerful form of motivation is rest. Space, stillness. You don't hustle a rose into blooming. You trust the process. You nourish the roots. Mental clarity arrives when you stop asking, what should I do? And start asking, who do I want to become? That question shifts your entire frequency. Reprogram your mind by making truth more familiar than fear. Abundance mindset isn't about money first. It's about belief first. That you're worthy. That you're already becoming. Success doesn't respond to stress. It responds to surrender. Motivation built on proving is shaky. Motivation built on purpose is stable. Return to your why. Then let go of the when. Your timeline is not broken. It's customized. So take a breath. Place your hand over your heart. Say to yourself, I'm not late. I'm not wrong. I'm right on time. You're not chasing success. You're clearing space for it. You're not behind. You're aligning. And alignment is magnetic. You're not broken. You're becoming. Stay in it. The law of attraction is already responding. You've made it this far, not by chance, but by choice. Every small decision to keep going, even when no one sees, is shaping a frequency stronger than any fear. That's how transformation begins. You don't need more motivation. You need more alignment. You don't need permission. You need presence. This is how you reprogram your mind. By repeating what's real, not just what's nice. By teaching your nervous system to feel safe in success, not just survival. That's the abundance mindset in action. A quiet power that knows it's already worthy, already becoming, already aligned. Clarity is magnetic. Energy is currency. And belief? That's the real leverage. So what now? Now you breathe, you trust, you move, you listen for what resonates instead of what impresses. You walk your vision, not perfectly, but powerfully. And when doubt creeps in, as it will, you remember this: you're not too late. You're right on path. You're not falling behind. You're falling into place. And success, real, soul-deep success, isn't somewhere out there. It's already reaching for you. Keep choosing it. Keep choosing you. Because the moment you believe differently, everything changes. The vision becomes clear. The resistance softens. The right people show up. That's how mental clarity works. It turns confusion into direction. This isn't the end. It's the ignition point. The part where you stop hustling to prove and start aligning to attract. That's manifestation. That's what Napoleon Hill meant by burning desire. Not noise, but knowing. So, visualize often. Speak gently. Act bravely. Think positively. Move with intention. Because this is the year your belief outpaces your fear. You don't have to force what's already yours. You just have to remember, the law of attraction isn't waiting. It's responding. Visualization isn't just a tool. It's a doorway. A way to pre-experience belief before it becomes reality. Let it be vivid. Let it be real. Because when your mind sees it clearly, your life begins to follow. Some people wait a lifetime to feel worthy. Others decide they already are. And that one decision, to believe in your enoughness now, becomes the turning point where everything begins to shift. You've heard the theories. You've practiced the techniques. You've worked on visualizing, journaling, reframing. But underneath all that effort, there's always been one deeper longing: to feel aligned, to feel free. This is not about chasing something new. It's about returning to something ancient, the truth of who you are. The law of attraction doesn't activate when you beg or bargain. It activates when you become, when you embody, when your energy is no longer shaped by fear, but by faith. Napoleon Hill said, "What the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But belief isn't passive. It's participation. It's making micro decisions that say, I trust this vision even before it arrives. You didn't come this far to stay the same, and you didn't grow through what you did just to survive. You did it to awaken. This journey has demanded more than action. It required a mindset shift from trying to trusting, from hustling to aligning. You practiced positive thinking not as denial, but as declaration. A statement that said, I refuse to be defined by fear. You visualized what you couldn't yet hold, because you dared to believe your future deserved to feel familiar before it was physical. You reprogrammed your mind, not by erasing the past, but by choosing a new direction forward. You took inspired action that wasn't about proving anything, but about becoming everything you already are. And in the process, you didn't just attract success, you attracted peace, purpose, presence. That's the abundance mindset. It doesn't scream, it radiates. Mental clarity didn't come from figuring it all out. It came from deciding what no longer needed to be carried. You're not broken, you're breaking through. You're not late, you're right on time. You've shifted more than goals, you've shifted identity. And now the life that once felt far off begins to feel near, not because it changed, but because you did. Manifestation is not a technique, it's a reflection. The outer catching up to the inner. And now that your inner world is ready, so is everything else. This is not a peak, it's a path. And you are walking it with more intention, more wisdom, and more alignment than ever before. So stay with it. Keep returning to the truth. Keep honoring the clarity. Keep trusting the pull you've already shifted. Now allow yourself to receive. And when the doubts come again, as they always do, remember, the work is not to be fearless. It's to be faithful. This is what we explore every day here at Mindset Mastery Hub. Not how to become someone else, but how to finally come home to yourself. Stay steady. Keep believing. You are already attracting what's next. But attracting what's next doesn't mean you'll always feel certain. Sometimes the most powerful growth still comes wrapped in confusion. And that's okay. Alignment doesn't mean absence of doubt. It means devotion to truth, even in doubt. You'll have days where the fear is louder than the vision. Days when old programming whispers you're not ready. And yet, you keep going. Because that's what belief looks like in real time. Visualization isn't fantasy, it's practice. It's training your inner world to recognize success as familiar, not foreign. To make abundance your baseline, not a fluke. To imprint confidence so deeply that even setbacks can't shake it. You didn't come here for comfort. You came for clarity. You didn't ask for easy. You asked for evolution. You didn't manifest by accident. You created by alignment. Let every moment of doubt become another chance to choose again. Choose mindset over panic. Choose purpose over pressure. Choose to reprogram your mind for what's real, not just what's familiar. You are the vision. You are the vibration. You are the vessel. Everything you've been calling in is already orbiting you. So now, breathe, receive. This is where it begins. Not with pressure, not with panic, but with peace. So as you step forward from here, remember this isn't a finish line. It's a frequency. One that you can return to. One that you now embody. And when the noise gets loud again, come back to the signal inside. Because that's where the next chapter starts, inside you.